Hi, I'm DR.S.BARATH. This video is an effort to talk about my trades in English. So this is in accordance with what most of the English viewers are asked me to do. Since some of them are not able to follow Tamil, I thought this adjustment video I'll be doing it in English. So coming to the video, today we saw what the market did. It was actually a very drastic fall. It was a very severe sell-off. Of course, this was not expected, but of course yesterday, like I did analyze the positions, and then somehow I thought that Nifty can even fall down to 17,200, which I had actually discussed on this Sunday video. So I was mentally prepared for a fall, but I never expected to come to 17,000. But I thought once it comes to 17.2, probably it will take some support, but that was a very drastic fall, and then eventually from 17 it did recover. And compared to Nifty and Bank Nifty seems to be reasonably strong. So Nifty is what there was a major sell-off that happened. So now we will see how we had adjusted the positions, and most of my viewers know that I have always taken a lot of bullish positions, and yesterday also we did have a lot of bullish bets, and that did go terribly wrong, but we were able to manage them reasonably well today. So let me get into the positions and see how I have adjusted the positions. Yeah, now this is what the Nifty had really done today. It was actually a very severe sell-off and a very drastic fall. There was no recovery at any part. So of course this was news driven, and I think it is actually an aberration. It cannot be a market which can fall very freely like this, but it did happen, and this can always happen in the stock market. So we always have to be prepared. And you see that Nifty has fallen at some point it was more than 3%, but then slightly it recovered, and now it is around 2.6% down. But the Bank Nifty, of course, it also was weaker, but then I think it held on reasonably well compared to Nifty. It was not as bearish as Nifty, but of course it was definitely weak. It fell by only 1.67%, so compared to Nifty it is okay. Now coming to our positions, whoever has been following, they definitely know what were the positions that I have, and I have been updating that of late recently on a daily basis. Now last time you all saw that I did have a ratio spread in the Bank Nifty options, and what I told yesterday is if at all the index opens a little bit down, or there's going to be a gap down opening, I told all the positions would be in reasonable profit and I would be booking it, and that is what exactly happened today morning. And you see that I had taken actually a ratio spread where I sold 137 that is 3 lots of 37 put option, and I bought 1 lot of 37,400 put option, and again that just to have a cushion I did sell at the money call option yesterday, that is at 37,600. Now at the opening it was almost a flat opening, and almost all the 3 positions were in reasonable profit, so I had to book it off. Now the reason why I had to do it is, see, of course I somehow felt that the market would take a very bearish turn, and I was not prepared for that. So I thought when I can see some profits, though it is very minimal, I thought it is better we lock into that. So we did lock into that. There was one major advantage to this what we had done today. What happened is I had actually tremendously freed my margin that was available. Now once that was done, now we'll see how that has helped us. Now before going to other positions, you see that I hold two stock positions. That is, one is HDFC Bank, that of course really fell badly today. It fell by around 2.3%, but still I sold a 1460 put option. So still now I have not done any adjustment, and what I feel is most of the time it is better we don't do any adjustment very drastically. So the best adjustment I feel would be just to adjust our mental frame of mind rather than doing any adjustment. So this I feel is just an aberration. Probably it may recur and it may recover, and more importantly it is all the February month that we have sold, and so we have ample time to manage that. So I really have not done anything to the stock options, even though it is definitely showing a lot of M2M, and I don't bother, I don't mind, and this I have done with the clear intention of taking delivery. So still I really don't mind what I have been holding. And Hindustan Unilever also fell drastically, like 1.75%. So again that is also showing a good amount of losses, but still I have not done any adjustment there. I would like to wait and watch. Now coming to the Nifty, that is where we have done lot of adjustments today. Yeah, Now how we can see that is, of course, see, I think it is a little bit jumbled, but it's okay. Now what we see is, what are the put option basically I have. Now you can forget about all the ratio spreads and whatever put I had, all those things were squared off. Now what I have done, like what I had done is, basically I see that I have 6 lots of puts that I have shorted. So that is actually a heavy portion in this market, so it would always be a lot of trouble. You see that 17650 I have 2 lots, I have shorted it. 17750 I have shorted 3 lots, and then 18,050 deep in the money, again it was shorted 1 lot. So totally it comes to around 3 plus 2 and then 6 options. So in the morning what I done is, basically I see, initially I already have a 1700 put option as one buy. So I already have 1 lot of put option in like in a long, that we already bought it. Now so we are short by 5 positions. So what I did is 17,350 I added 5 lots today morning. So that is in reasonable profit today. What was my intention is, see, since the market is going through a free fall, first thing is I need to limit my losses, what was happening. So I did buy 5 and then plus 1. So 6 lots of put option is we are long in that. Now no matter whatever market falls beyond this stage, we are not going to be in loss. So we are limiting the losses. That was the first thing that I had to do, and that I had done. And then as I told you, since I had freed the bank nifty positions, my margins were reasonably relieved. After that what I had done is, I had shorted almost all the calls in Nifty very heavily. If you can see, I had shorted 17,000 call, 1700, 17,150, 17,200, 250, 300 call, and then 400, 500, 550, 600, 650, 700, 850, and almost all the strikes we had shorted today. And that is the reason we were able to recover almost most of the losses that had happened to the market. In fact, if you had seen, like today alone, we were able to almost manage up to 70,000 of losses. Say nothing had been adjusted today, we would have been sitting on an extra loss of around 70,000 rupees. Now since we had some margin, and since we sold some calls aggressively, we were able to manage the losses. And what is the most important drive home point from this video today, I feel, is no matter whatever the market falls, if we are able to plan what we are going to do, and if we are prepared for the eventuality, then probably I think we will be able to manage it in a reasonable way. And more importantly, no matter if the market falls, first thing what we have to do is, we cannot really keep shorting the calls and expecting us to really cut down the losses. First thing is, we have to go and buy some puts, and that is what will actually really give us some cover. Unless and until we buy some puts, we will not be able to limit the losses. So once I had bought some puts, I was reasonably satisfied, and then I had aggressively shorted the calls, and that made us recover almost all the losses otherwise which would have happened. So from yesterday's position, if you had seen me, definitely the M2M losses is not more, still it is only a very minimal loss that I have been sitting on. Yesterday it was around 35, today is 55, still a 20 rupees loss, but still it's okay. And if you see that carefully, most of the loss has come only from the stock options, where I have not done any adjustment and I don't intend to do it currently. So from what I believe, we were able to reasonably manage the positions. In fact, in spite of a 3% or a 2.5% fall, we were able to still maintain the M2M. It has actually not increased. So, and then what I have taken at the end of the day, what I saw that is, see, like I see again, I'm not a very technical person, but I do still believe that this is actually an aberration. So I somehow feel that Nifty is going to take some support around 17, or probably I may be wrong, and it is forming something of a W pattern. I really don't know, but still I believe I didn't want to really stay in the market with a lot of short calls. Suddenly what happens is that, say the market shoots up, I will be in tremendous pressure, and that may actually cause more losses than what we had recovered today. So I didn't want to really exit the market with a lot of short calls. So market, maybe it may give surprises, we don't know. Tomorrow maybe it may be a mild gap up, and I don't want to take the chances. And more importantly, tomorrow I will not be available to do a lot of active trading. So what I did is, after doing all these positions, I simply added a few calls, and I believe a Nifty is going to have a strong resistance at around 17,250 to 300 levels. See, again it's a very strong disclaimer. All these trades that I do, you kindly don't mimic all these trades. Each person's risk appetite may be quite different, and their management may be quite different. So it's a strong disclaimer. It is not a stock buying recommendation or a selling recommendation. Definitely I don't give calls, and kindly don't follow my trades blindly. Kindly consult your financial advisor before taking any trades. Now what I done today is, since I told I feel that Nifty may have a strong resistance around 17,200 to 350 levels, or probably 250 to 300 levels, I had safely shorted 3 lots of 17,350 calls with a decent premium, and again I did short again a 17,450 calls, 3 lots with a decent premium. That's it. Now like whatever amount of put options I have sold, equal amount of put option is there in long, that I have bought equal amount. So no matter whatever market does tomorrow, that is say it is going to fall drastically, I am not going to lose heavily here, because for every 1 rupee of loss that I am going to make, definitely the bought option is going to equate that. So I am not really worried about the market crashing or going down further. Say if the Nifty doesn't go down, or probably is going to be a flat opening, or is going to be really consolidating, in that case also we will be making some kind of profits on the calls that we have sold, and definitely there is going to be no trouble with the puts. In case the market rallies, a decent rally is not going to give us any trouble now. But if there is going to be a very severe rally, then probably we will be in deep trouble, but we will see how we can adjust that. I really don't believe that kind of a rally can happen now, considering the institution selling really hard. I don't think that can happen. So that is my rationale. So as I told you, like what can be the take home message from this video? First thing is, we need to have a little bit of free margin whenever we feel, when we feel that the market may go down, and if some of the positions are in profit, it is okay to book it, and even is going to be a minor profit is okay. Once we free the margin, the other trades we have a good amount of capital where we can do aggressive adjustments. So, and more importantly, we need to be prepared in the market. Anytime a fall can happen. If the fall happens, we should be prepared, and we should know what to do in the falling market. We should not panic. That's the most important thing. And again, one more thing is, if we are like bullish in the market, we have sold some puts, we cannot really, and if the market falls drastically, we cannot really cover it by selling any number of calls. In fact, most of the calls that I had sold today was actually in the money when I had sold that. In spite of that, what we have to do is, we have to have equal number of put buying, so that only in a very drastic market, only a option buying is going to really save us. Once we buy an option, we can actually sell some other calls, or so we can do any adjustment to recover part of the losses, or even in case we can make some profit. So that is what is the video. And leaving apart all these derivatives and so, I still feel that a lot of stocks are in a good zone where we can actually buy. So in fact, when the market did fall last time, it came to almost 16.5, and when the market was around that level, or probably at around 16,800 to 700, I did take a lot of long positions in some stocks in some of my other accounts, and that was in a decent profit. And still, if you see that, even today ICICI Bank I feel is definitely a good buy. It is definitely holding well. In spite of the market falling so much, I think even though Bank Nifty other stocks has fallen, the ICICI Bank is still holding. And again, a strong disclaimer, this is definitely not a stock buying recommendation. So I just observe that it has been happening. I just want you to know that it is just a simple analysis. That's what I say. So of course, I do hold a lot of stocks again in long positions, and today also I have added some ICICI Bank long positions, and I am ready to hold it for the long term if the stock goes down further. Yeah, so that is what it is. So if these adjustment videos are helpful, kindly do comment, and more importantly, you can always give me your suggestions also as to what I have done wrong today. If this portion could have been adjusted better, I always like to read the comments. In fact, I did learn a lot from your comments. So kindly keep posting the comments. That is what is going to really keep me motivated. So initially, to be very frank, I did start with only a Tamil channel because there are a lot of YouTubers who definitely present English, but still some of the subscribers do request for English videos. So that's the reason I present this video. So going forward, only a comment is going to really determine whether I am going to continue this, because unless and until there is going to be an active participation, it really makes no sense to continue the videos in 2 languages. Of course, I have not started a separate English channel. Definitely from the comments what I had received, I do understand that I need to start it, but based on the response going forward, I am planning to start a separate English channel also. So I sincerely request you to all register your valuable comments, and definitely do press the like button, and definitely share the video. So thank you all for your valuable time. Thank you for watching. Wish you a very good health.